My amendment would allow law enforcement officers to immediately remove squatters from a homeowner's property if the homeowner signs an affidavit subject to criminal penalties stating that he or she is the true and lawful owner of the residence. A woman returned to New York following a trip to Spain to discover 2 squatters unlawfully occupying her residence.
2 suspected teen squatters are now charged with murder in this case. Hallie Tejada and Kensley Alston were extradited from Pennsylvania to face charges in the death of Nadia Vatels.
These squatters proceeded to murder the homeowner by viciously slamming her head against the walls of her home. In March, as a result of a New York squatter-friendly law, squatters in Queens were successful in having a homeowner arrested for the apparent unlawful act of changing the locks to her own home.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmith.
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs.
They got one out.
And escorted the other guy off the property. Minutes later, a locksmith showed up, but police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed.
That's not going on.
The man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue. He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
He didn't show me a lease.
This is a bill.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there.
So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court.
In January, a Philadelphia homeowner was compelled to pay $1,200 to oust several squatters from his home after police and city officials refused to arrest and remove the criminals. While any act of squatting will likely violate numerous provisions of the Pennsylvania Crimes Code, law enforcement officers are often reluctant to take any action because of the difficulty associated with identifying which individual is the true and lawful owner of the property. This amendment is clearly needed to strengthen property rights and homeowner protections.
Madam Speaker, I rise to offer that this amendment and all remaining amendments be tabled.
The ayes are 102, the nays are 99. The majority having voted in the affirmative, all remaining amendments are laid on the table.
Having my amendments tabled was such a huge disappointment. I feel it was a missed opportunity to address a problem that continues to grow, continues to escalate. We have U.S. Senator Fetterman saying, when are we going to finally admit that squatters have absolutely no rights in Pennsylvania? Our own U.S. Senator is telling the legislative body to act, and we're not.